Family of Rust cinematographer Helena Hutchins has filed a lawsuit against actor Alec Baldwin, but they have been trapped in a war-torn Ukraine since her death. So for what all of this means, let's bring in former prosecutor and Newsmax contributor Ameer Benno. Good morning, Ameer. Okay, so first, this is a brand new civil lawsuit brought on by Helena's mom, dad, and sister. Her husband, Matthew, has already reached a settlement with Baldwin. So in this new lawsuit, they allege battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and negligence. What do you make of this new lawsuit?
Well, they're claiming that they've been injured by by the death. They've been injured because Hutchins had been sending them money. Like you said, also they had planned to leave Ukraine, and had she been alive, she would have helped them leave Ukraine before the war. So, as far as damages go, they have different damages that they're claiming that they can get compensated for. But you're going to run into some legal problems here, namely. These kinds of cases, wrongful death cases, are generally, and I believe in California, it's limited to the spouse and the child of the person who died, not to the parents or the sibling. So they've tried to style it as something different than wrongful death. They call it loss of consortium, which is really an interference with your relationship. So the first question here would be, is this really a wrongful death action, or is it, in fact, a loss of consortium claim? Can they bring it in California? If they can, what kind of damages are they limited to? What they've done here is they've brought it in California, but this incident, the death, arose out of New Mexico. So they're saying New Mexico law applies. So they got a lot of legal hurdles to clear here in order for this to gain some traction.
Now, you just mentioned, of course, that they have already settled with the husband, Matthew. How does that affect this new lawsuit, the fact that they've already settled a lawsuit with the husband?
Well, it shouldn't. Like I said, totally different plaintiffs, different injuries. These are injuries to the parents and the sibling, not injuries to the estate or to the decedent or to the husband or the child. So they can, on that front, they can bring it because they have different injuries. The question is this in fact just the type of claim that only the spouse or the child can bring and not the parents and the sibling? That's where a lot of this legal fight's going to play out.
I want to go back to the fact that her family is stuck in Ukraine and has been since her death, obviously because of the war. How does that affect the lawsuit and the charges?
It shouldn't really so much. I mean, they can still bring their claim. And just in terms of mechanics, whether or not they can participate in the litigation might be challenging. But in today's day and age, with virtual platforms out there, it shouldn't interfere that much at all.
So Baldwin, he has been charged with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter, and so is the armorer. He could face up to 18 months in jail or mandatory 5 years. There's a couple options here. He could be offered a plea deal. He could choose to go to trial, or it could be dismissed in a preliminary hearing. How do you see this playing out?
Well, look, they've got evidence against him. He's got the resources to fight this, and so I expect that he will fight it. Most likely, that'll work its way out with some sort of a deal with a very light sentence.
Okay, Ameer Benno, thank you so much. Of course, we will be updating this story, and I really appreciate your insight.
Thanks so much.